Ready? What's cooking on Cindy's Kitchen today? Today we're making paninis. Paninis, I tell you. Before we get to our equipment, we're gonna make some pesto, homemade pesto. Now, homemade pesto is not difficult. It is very easy. It's not really time consuming. The only thing that I'm concerned about, because you know I'm always looking at cost, is the cost. And so the things that go in are very kind of simple ingredients. So you're gonna need basil, and you're gonna need a bunch of basil. So this is about 3 cups of fresh basil. Now, if you bought this in the grocery store, that's kind of pricey. I have 2 plants that are in planters like this big. So not big. They're not replanted. They're still in the original pot I bought them in. They're just sitting on a table outside. A couple times a week, I go out and water them. You know, this is what I pulled off 2 plants this morning. And so these are mostly just the big leaves. If you want to substitute, you can always use like half basil and half baby spinach. So if you're looking to cut down on the price, you can substitute a little baby spinach in there. It'll have a little different flavor, but you know, there you go. I don't want it to cost you too much. Then you're gonna need some Parmesano. You might wanna use Parmesano Reggiano, right? With your mortadella. I'm just irritating everybody, aren't I? Yes, I am. We're gonna need pine nuts, and we're gonna need a half a cup. And this little bitty package, these are whole pine nuts. I think they're also referred to in Italian as pinole. I can't remember. Pinole? I can't remember. Anyway, pine nuts, there we go. A lot of people toast them first. I'm not doing that. We're gonna need garlic. You know I'm using roasted garlic because look, it's full. It's full. We're using roasted garlic. We're gonna need salt and pepper. Look, I have my cute little dishes that I'm using. My little square dishes. Aren't those cute? Salt and pepper. We're gonna need salt, pepper, basil. I'm gonna put in a squeeze of lemon juice because I just like that bright flavor. And then we're gonna need olive oil or wherever, you know, whatever your olive oil comes in. All right, so we ready? And you're gonna need a food processor or a blender. Now I'm using the blender, okay, because I am. And we're gonna tilt this way. Look how we tilt this way. All right, so here's the blender. It's got suction cups on it. So there we go. Nobody likes to, I moved everything because the refrigerator in the background was kind of right? And so I kind of moved the camera for when we're doing the show so you're not staring at my big silver refrigerator. Anyway, yes, you can, if you don't have pine nuts, because pine nuts can be pricey, it just depends. You can use walnuts or almonds, and walnuts is usually the one that people say are the go-to. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna put in half of my basil leaves, okay? Just half, and I'll explain why in just a second. Okay, I'm gonna put in half of my basil leaves. I'm gonna put in a half a cup, which is what this package is. It says, what does it say? It says 2.25 ounces, but then it says contains about a half a cup. So there you go. Not measuring that. Half a cup. We're also gonna need half a cup of Parmesano. Now I've got shredded Parm. You can use, you know, the bigger or the smaller. Let me see how much. There we go. Half a cup. That's what was left. I wasn't gonna, you know me. Let's just do it that way. Okay? We're gonna need a teaspoon, just a teaspoon, there we go, of lemon juice. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. All right, garlic. You know me and my garlic, right? If you're using regular garlic, then I'm gonna suggest that you probably use 3 cloves of garlic. And before you put it in here, you probably wanna smash it or give it a little nice cut, okay? Because you don't want a big piece of garlic and it's not all the way smashed. I'm using roasted garlic. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look how lovely that is. And of course, remember, it doesn't have the bite. Oh, you could just spread this. You could spread it all. So I'm gonna use I'm gonna use double. I'm gonna use 6, okay? In it goes, okay? Oh, let's just have this for breakfast. Good morning, Vicki Ann, good to see you. All right, now we need salt, a teaspoon of salt. okay? Teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper. Pepper for your poppycock. Okay. You ready? You ready? All right, now, you don't want to pour in your olive oil just right now. We're going to drizzle it from the top. Okay. Sometimes I roll my eyes at this, but quite frankly, you know, this isn't something that I make like every week. This is more like every other month. And so there you go. You do need a smell funk. My whole house smells like basil right now. It's so awesome. All right, so make sure everything is locked down, and we're gonna pulse. We're not gonna put it on like full blast, okay? So we're gonna pulse. So that means I'm gonna go. La, la, okay. And then we're gonna start to drizzle. My drizzle is over here. Okay, I'll move the camera. Again, you're gonna get like the whole refrigerator. Okay, you ready? So I'm gonna start pouring in the olive oil, and I'm gonna This is like having to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Can you pour and push at the same time? Because I'm wanting to do this with the olive oil. Every time I push down, I'm wanting to do. All right, half a cup is what we're gonna need, okay? But just keep an eye down here, okay? Okay, I'm stopping right now. Look, can you see? We've gone from whole leaves and the nuts, and now it's like a light, pretty light green color, right? Okay, so that being said, oh my word, so good. I don't have anything on the sides, but you might have like a leaf that got thrown up. Because, you know, I have the Ninja, and some people don't like Ninjas, but I like it because it has the 2 blades. And then, and so if you're just using a regular blender or a food processor, maybe you have leaves on the side, okay? That being said, now I'm gonna put in the rest of it. You make a ton and put it on ice cube trays. Yes, and that is an awesome idea, awesome idea. So you make a whole bunch of this, put it in an ice cube tray, let it freeze up, then you put it in Ziploc baggies. Make sure you use freezer baggies, not storage baggies. And then you have pesto all year long, all winter when you wouldn't necessarily. All right, so the reason you put in half and then you put in the other half, supposedly, we'll see, is that a traditional pesto is not supposed to be like a smooth, almost liquid, runny mess, right? It's not supposed to be that. Because usually when you're using, oh, I have a bullet too, Joanne. Well, I have the bullet like attachment, but it's just not big enough for, I mean, it would be, but I'd have to take it off and put it on. And you can't drizzle the olive oil with my little bullets. Anyway, that being said, it's supposed to have enough of a chunk, and not a chunk, but you know, small pieces, so that when you make it with pasta, it has something to go in the nooks and crannies of the pasta. So it's not just like this runny sauce that would like run off of the pasta. It's actually supposed to stick to it. So therein lie do the first part and then add the rest of them, and we won't pulse as much. Okay, but I am gonna add just a little bit. Hold on, I'm gonna add just a oh, wrong one. Don't hit the release button if you're about to pour stuff in, right? Okay, so I'm gonna pour in just a little bit more. Let me make sure. La, 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 la. Okay, I think we're good. Let me check. Oh, it smells delightful. It smells delightful. Okay, so those weren't really hard ingredients. I think that, I mean, you know, like I said, other than the pine nuts, oh, I always hate that. All right. Other than the pine nuts, really not that big of a deal on price. Parmesan can be correct. It was originally made with a mortar and pestle. Yes, hence the pesto. Joe, we are so glad you're here. Thank you so much. All right, I'm gonna stick that over here. And then I'm gonna just pour it. This is a bigger bowl than I need, but just because I want you to see. You ready? Here we go. Look at that. It's like green gold. Yum, yum. Yeah, I certainly didn't need this big bowl, but I'd already put my basil leaves in here. So it was already, okay, we're moving. Oh, hold on. We're moving back this direction because you don't need to see the blender anymore because we're done with the blender, okay? So now I don't want to lose any, so I'm going to get it all out of here. Yum, yum. Now, the pesto is so good on any pasta that you make. So whether all you have in your pantry is macaroni, that's fine. Whatever pasta you have. The best thing about any of these wonderful sauces is you want a pasta that has, you know, that has some ridges or something like that, so that the sauce has places to go. Yes, Joe. You know, I thought about getting out the mortar and pestle and doing a demonstration, but old arthritis hands here has issues. Oh, wait. Choo. I'm so sorry. Bless me. Excuse me. Oh, it was just the one. Must have been the pepper. Okay, so here we go. Look at that. Mmm. So you can put this on sandwiches. You can use this as a salad dressing. You could use it, like I said, on any pasta you have. I'm just going to set this aside. And quite frankly, you can keep this in your refrigerator. Let's just make sure that you put it in way too much work. You know what, Joe? You're absolutely right. It is a lot of work. Kind of. That being said, they sell jarred pesto. And so if you want to make the paninis with the pesto, or you want to make pasta with pesto, really, there are some fairly decent jarred pestos out there. So feel free. I mean, you know, I want to make this easy for you, all right? That being said, let's look at equipment, okay? If you have a panini press, well, you know exactly, I'm in a panini machine, the press, you know exactly what machine you're going to use, right? I don't have one of those. I do have one of these. This is just a grill pan. Now, I have a gas stove, so I love... Oh, you mean without the blender, right, Joe? Yeah. Well, I have old lady arthritis hands, and just doing that would kill me. Anyway, so you certainly could use one of these, and if you don't have you can just use a cast iron skillet or any skillet that's heavy and put it on top. Any kind of weight. I mean, don't go get a brick from outside because that'd be gross, but you know what I mean, right? Something heavy to weigh it down. You want to spray that first, and you want this very hot before you start, okay? That being said, oh, that was so loud. Fun and easy is good. I do have this. Years ago, I bought this, and it is my favorite. And so this is a square skillet. Let me come back just a little bit, okay? Whoops, this way. A square skillet. Isn't that cool? Square skillet. And it has the ridges. You see the little ridges? So if I'm making 4 pork chops or 2 steaks or 4 small steaks or chicken and I want some grill marks and it's... Okay, here's the thing. Most of you up north would use this when it's snowing outside or it's too cold to go outside and you want some grill marks, so you're thinking barbecue, right? I'm in Houston, Texas. It's too hot. It's too hot. So when it's too hot to barbecue, like right now, I might cook my meat on this. What kind of pan do we need? Again, you can, if you don't have, this is a square pan with ridges. You don't necessarily have to have anything with ridges. If you just have a skillet, that's fine. Remember, the traditional definition of a panini is a grilled or toasted sandwich. We think of paninis as having these grill marks. They don't necessarily have to. Then I have this. This is like this big, heavy cast iron weight. And so I'm going to use that to set on it. Again, you don't need this in your house. You can use a cast iron skillet. You can use anything that's heavy, any skillet heavy, right? I mean, don't go in your bookcase and get books out, right? That's not going to, but stuff in your kitchen, okay? I win with the most gadgets. I don't know. All right, so these are what we're going to need. And this is what I'm going to use on the skillet. Before I start, I'm going to give this a spray. One, because I want that, right? When you make a grilled cheese sandwich, what do you put on the outside of the bread? Butter. Although, if you're making a really good grilled cheese sandwich, here's what you do. The best grilled cheese sandwich, I'm not making grilled cheese, I'm making panini. But the very best grilled cheese sandwich is if you take a bowl and you mix butter and mayo. I know it sounds disgusting, just disgusting. Mix that together and use that, slather that on the outsides. Oh my goodness, yum. Cover a brick with foil for weight. Gail, you know Alton Brown, AB used to do that all the time. All the time. All right, I'm gonna put this on the stove and start heating that sucker up. Okay. Ooh, moving that. Okay, here we need our bread. This is what we're using. We're using a ciabatta. This ciabatta was $3.48 in the bakery, okay? Now, be careful, because you're gonna think, oh, look, this ciabatta, I thought was the right one, but it's sliced. And because it's sliced, look how small those are, which means I would have to cut my cheese and cut the cheese. I cut the cheese. I'm not cutting the cheese. Anyway, it's very narrow. I don't like that. So I'm getting this. You can use focaccia. You can use, you know, any kind of bread you want. Now, again, remember in our description, we cut it horizontally. That's that way, right? Vertically, horizontally, okay? And I used my bread knife. The bread knife is the one that's serrated, okay? You certainly could use your chef knife, but when you're cutting bread, not the cheese, when you're cutting bread, the serrated bread knife is really the easier way to go, all right? So we're gonna cut this in half, which I did, and now we're gonna spread our pesto on here, okay? Now you can be as generous as you want, right? You can say, oh, lots of pesto. You can also say, okay, I want some pesto on there, but I also want some mayo on there. I'm not certain I like that, but you know, up to you. This is your sandwich. This is Cindy's kitchen, but you are sitting in your kitchen. And I want you to use the things that you like, the taste that your family like and that they will eat. I don't want you making food that nobody in your house is gonna eat. Now again, you also have the option, do you want it just on one side or do you want it on both sides? I tend to do a little heavier slather on one side and a very light slather on the other, just because, I don't know, I want everybody, you know me, perfect bite. I want everybody in the party. Okay, so look at that. Are you looking? La 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 la, pretty, pretty. Okay, let me push down just a little bit so you can see. Now, what to go on here? Cheese, okay, you gotta have some cheese, right? And so I've got smoked Gouda and I have smoked provolone. So I'm actually gonna use both because you know what? There's no such thing as too much cheese, okay? So one, I'm just gonna divide it kind of in third. Oh, except that piece of paper would not be good, would it? All right, so I'm gonna divide this in thirds, okay? And provolone. Now, when my daughter comes down, she's gonna want chicken, right? But for me, for lunch, I don't want any meat. You can use chicken, you can use ham, you can use turkey, you can use whatever is in your refrigerator. If you have leftover meat from last night, make a steak one. You can make a Philly cheesesteak one. Yum, right? All right, now, what else are we putting on here? Here's what I did. I took one tomato and cut it up. I put a little salt and pepper on there, just sprinkle a little salt and pepper, and put it in the oven, 400 degrees, just for about 5 minutes, just so that they're a little wilty, right? Now, you don't have to do this. Where's the bottom? Oh, that's the bottom. You certainly could use a lot of recipes call for oh, you know, what's the tomatoes? Blah blah blah. Now I can't even think of what the name of the tomato is. You know what I'm talking about, right? Not fire roasted, something. Oh, I have mad cow disease. I'm losing my marbles. I'm losing my marbles, right? Oh, and this one kind of stuck. All right, there we go. La la la. No, not Roma. Sun-dried. Ding, ding, ding. Vicky wins. Vicky wins. Sun-dried tomatoes. Okay, so we've got cheese and we've got tomato. I'm gonna add spinach to mine, okay? This is gonna be a veggie one. All right, so, and again, how much do you want on here? And that's wholly up to you, right? Wholly up to you. I like that I use cheese on both sides because it will be very cheesy. Like me, very cheesy. I'm a cheesy kind of girl. Okay, so sprinkling the baby spinach everywhere. I got this big box because I think, I'm not certain, but I think tomorrow we're gonna make, my mom has this great recipe for gnocchi. It's a creamy gnocchi and spinach soup. So good, so good. You, Vicky, you with the ooh. If you don't like spinach, cut up a cucumber. You don't like the cucumber and you have a zucchini, slice up a zucchini or a yellow squash on here. Really, go through your refrigerator. What's in there, use. Okay, that's what I'm doing, all right? Watch me. Flip. Flip. Do you remember Flip Wilson? He had a show. He was so funny. It would be politically incorrect right now. All right, I'm gonna cut this in third. Is that too big of a sandwich? Hold on, let me think. Nope, fourths. So I'm gonna cut it in half. And then I'm gonna cut it in half again. Yeah, that's a big enough sandwich. Because if I would have cut it in thirds, wow. Okay, so now, here we go. Ooh, look at that. Yum. All right, let me get my pot holder. My pan is screaming hot. Screaming hot. Can you smell it? Yeah. Now, my press, my little weight is big enough for 2 of these. So I'm gonna put 2 of them on here in the middle of the skillet and not burn myself. And then I'm gonna take my weight and I'm gonna set it on top, but not till I get over there because the right hand, the right hand is the worst hand. And then when that one's done, I'll put these 2 in. Although, don't you just wanna go, I could have added some salt and pepper. I could have added some other seasoning, you know, whatever. Look, I have ham, sliced ham, lunch meat. You gotta put that in there. My daughter, I know that you're gonna laugh at me, but I always have a bag of this in the freezer, the chicken fajitas. Because really, if you're making soup, if you're making a casserole, whatever you're making, quesadillas, these work. And it's fast because they're already cooked. You just have to like heat them up. So she will add that to hers because she likes spinach, chicken, and cheese paninis. So there you go. But she doesn't like tomatoes at all. All right. So let me see. Oh, I better check. And I need a flipper. Hold on. Ooh. Okay, I just flipped. I just used my spatula. Ooh. I put the weight back on. I just used my spatula. I flipped them over and I put the weight back on. Do you see that didn't take any time at all? It's just like making a grilled cheese sandwich, right? But I want you to try this and I want you to be creative and then I want you to come back and let me know. Send me a message or post on this particular video of what you came up with. Now, maybe you're just using sandwich bread. That's fine. I mean, the reason you use these artesian breads generally is because it's a thicker, harder bread, and so it absorbs things without falling apart, okay? All right, I think my sandwich is done. Ooh. Yo. Ta and da. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Okay, hold on. Oh, reaching. Okay, so here's where I'm going. Oh, look at the grill marks. Look at the grill marks, so pretty. Can I flip that? Let me see. Ta and da. Okay, I'm gonna put one there and I'm gonna put one down here. I'm gonna give this one more spray because I have 2 more halves to do. And I know you may not want to watch me do the other 2 halves, but 2 halves must go on. Just don't burn yourself. Make sure you have your pot holder. Okay, look at this. Look how pretty that is. This is my lunch. Are you looking at that? Chips. And it's on, this is one of my new favorites. It's called Moonlight. Is that beautiful? It's calming. I love it. It's a darker color. Anyway, chips and a panini. All right, but let's look at the inside of the panini, okay? Oh, hot. Okay, should I cut it fun? Let's see. Oh, ow, hot, hot, hot. Okay, there we go. And again, I use my serrated knife. Look. Oh, look at how yummy. Mmm. 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 Okay. Mmm. Happy sandwich dance. That was so good. The spinach, the roasted tomato, 2 different kinds of smoked cheese. Yum. So I want you to do me a favor. I want you to, wait, I have to go over there and flip. Wait, I need the flipper. I need the flipper. Oh. Flip, flip, line back up, wait, back on. I want you to make a sandwich, even if it's a grilled cheese. Make a grilled cheese. Make a grilled cheese with stuff in it. Find some fun bread. Stuff whatever is in. Oh, cheese is leaking out. It made a noise. Cheese is leaking out. Whatever is in your refrigerator. I want you to make a fun panini, take a picture, and send it to me. Again, you can message me or you can post the picture right on this video because I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Hold on. All right, these are done too. Ooh. Where's my other? Look, I have this one too. I have 2 of these little platters, and I like these platters for lunch because, quite frankly, it's just a perfect little size for sandwich and chips. And now the whole family, because we have 4 of us, right? Now the whole family has sandwiches. Isn't that awesome? So this is gonna be my fave. This is gonna be mine. Take pictures of yours. You guys, I hope you enjoyed learning how to make pesto. As you can tell, it's not really difficult, but if this is too much for you, it's fine. Buy a jar. Buy a jar, it's fine. I want this to be fun. I want your palate to expand and taste new, exciting things. Mix it up. Try a different cheese. If you've had provolone, but you've never had smoked provolone, try that. If you've never had smoked Gouda, you are missing out. Try use some smoked Gouda. All right, folks, that's it. From my kitchen to your kitchen, I hope you didn't feel too pressed today, but you're feeling a little grilled and ready to go. You yum. Enjoy your lunch or have it for dinner. Don't forget, if you are watching after we're live, make sure you do #replay so that we can say hello and we know that you're here. You guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Bye, everybody.